Consider subscribing to North Star Radio, friend of the show, with 70,000 subs. Make sure you are subscribed. I'm sure if you're watching this channel, if you're watching this live stream, you're already subscribed to North Star Radio. Comrade Casey, friend of the show. And without further ado, folks, let us bring in the star of the show, friend of the show. The one and only, the man who started Ethan Klein's Crash Out, North Star Radio, aka Comrade Casey. Comrade Casey, welcome to the stream. Welcome to Do Not Worry. Thank you for being on here.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate the opportunity. This is my first ever time on anyone's show as a guest. It's an honor, and I look forward to seeing you in Minnesota.
Well, hell yeah. I'm going to visit you via truck for the first. By the way, audience, please let us know if the audio, if I'm too loud, if Comrade Casey's too loud, let us know. We'll try to work on the audio on our end. But let us know. Comrade Casey, it's an honor for us to have you here. I don't have many guests on usually because I consider myself to be a horrible interviewer. But I'm very glad that you're here. Also, for some reason, I feel like if someone comes on our show, it causes some controversy, but you are no stranger to controversy. You have been in the eye of the storm. You are an enemy of Ethan Klein, which we'll get to momentarily. So actually, just let me cut away from you for 1 second because I got to get my questions ready and move them onto the side so that no one sees what I'm asking you. Again, guys, I'm a horrible interviewer. Don't judge me. We're just happy to have Comrade Casey here. And if you guys want to ask Comrade Casey any questions, please feel free to shoot any questions in the live chat. It's probably going to be easier if it's a super chat because it'll stand out. Also, members and patrons, y'all have left some questions for Comrade Casey, which we'll read a little bit later on the show. So, Comrade Casey, I just wanted to say congrats on 70,000 subs. Oh, so they're saying you're way louder. I don't know if there's something you could do to cut your audio a bit. I'll try to cut down my desktop audio a tiny bit, like that. So I'm going to decrease the desktop audio. Go ahead and say quick something, and then we'll see. Veronica sends another 6 shekels, and Petfuls G has become a member. Thank you so much for joining the family. Marina, again, thank you for the gifted.
All right, I lowered my input a little bit.
I think this will be better because I lowered you on my end as well. I just figured it out. Okay. Sorry. So let us know if it's better now. Comrade Casey, congrats on 70,000 subscribers. I saw your tweet yesterday. The community's growing. I'm super happy for you. You've been an amazing, you've been such a positive voice when it comes to pro-Palestinian voices, leftist voices online. We've been losing a couple of leftist voices. Lol overruled apparently is gone, so we need replacements. And it's nice to have you here. Now they're saying you're a little too quiet. I'm going to raise you back up.
A little too quiet, okay.
So we're very happy to have you on. Congrats on 70K. I just wanted to ask you, and this might sound like a silly question, but what made you want to be a communist, in the United States? And can you give us just a quick overview of why you're a communist? What is it about communism that you think can help America? And why is this a message that you kind of want to spread?
Sure. I mean, it all kind of started at the pandemic, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
That's when I was introduced to Hassan through the H3 podcast. And, I don't know. I was sort of like a Bernie bro. I think we can all sort of associate with being a Bernie bro in 2019, 2020. I mean, that's unfortunate the way Bernie's gone lately, but we can talk about that later.
We will.
But, sort of after discovering Hassan and just sort of being introduced to more, I guess, socialist thought, you could say, even though I have some disagreements with Hassan nowadays. But personally, where it stemmed from for me, sort of being introduced to communism and more distinct from what we consider Bernie bro socialism, is an emphasis on imperialism. We sort of have a issue in the modern left, the mainstream left in America, where, I might get some flack for this, but the Zoran types they talk about Yeah.
Okay. So I thought we were going to talk about Bernie and AOC and like the other like liberal Zionist type Democrats like the Chuck Schumers, but you're going for Zohran Mamdani
No, no, no.
already.
Okay, okay. Here, I'm gonna give Zoran a chance because he's not even the mayor yet. I mean, come on. But he just posted a video with Elizabeth Warren. It was a
Oh
little
God.
weird,
Oh
but the AOC, the Bernie, those types who, they tout this socialist label. Can you hear that garbage truck outside my window?
no,
That's
no, you're
not
good.
good. Okay, okay.
At least you have
These
garbage trucks
people.
doing your thing. We're in Lebanon. We rarely hear garbage trucks doing what they're supposed to do.
Oh
So be
yeah, that's
thankful,
good.
Comrade
It's a
Casey, that
privilege.
garbage trucks are doing their thing over there in Minnesota because we're not as lucky. And there's a heat wave happening right now, and all that garbage is like festering, and it's hot,
That's
and
brutal. Yeah, no, you're right. So like AOC and Bernie, they tout this democratic socialism thing, and they're kind of the gods of the quote unquote like progressive left in America.
hmm
But then, like I talked about this in my last NSR video, AOC just like votes to send more weapons to Israel. And
Yep.
it's that difference that is sort of the I see a problem with, because when I first started sort of being introduced to communism, it was actually through um, learning more about North Korea.
hmm
Because when you're in America, the things you're taught about North Korea are like mind-blowingly. I've once I dove into the lies we're told about North Korea, it kind of changes the way entirely that you see the world. Um, Other countries, like whatever you were taught about all the wars, the Korean War, the Vietnam War, and Cuba and China, it just makes you start second guessing things like that. And that was sort of my introduction to sort of an alternative thought from even the progressive Bernie bro types from like 2020.
Uh, you recently got into some controversy with a tweet of yours. Let me just take a second right here
Did I?
and cut to that very really quickly, just to show the audience who doesn't know what I'm talking about. So Comrade Casey had this tweet that kind of went viral. Libs refuse to confront the
Uh-oh.
contradictions of their deified politicians, and then someone says they saying you fuck with ACP and their friends. Is this true, big bro? This is Angelo Statlander, and then you reply by saying you fuck with AOC, and then Angelo replies by saying you fuck with Jackson Hinkle, and then you reply by saying Jackson Hinkle has never voted to send billions of dollars in weapons to Israel. And that response of yours, Jackson Hinkle has never voted to send billions of dollars in weapons to Israel, kind of caused a stir. We got some responses down there, people being like, no fucking way. I've been introduced to a new side of the left that fucks with Jackson Hinkle. Johanna says, I hate AOC, but he endorsed Zionists. Felipe says, all you crackers stick together, huh? And then Jeff Porter says, Jackson Hinkle is a Nazi, come the fuck on, Lamau. And it kind of continues on. You're getting some sort of a pushback, but you've also mentioned this tweet that you wanted me to bring up, sent out by Seraph, which says, I don't agree with Jackson Hinkle's politics, but he's cool, to be honest. So, Comrade Casey, explain yourself. We've talked about Jackson Hinkle a couple of times on this show because, like, he fucking came to Lebanon, bro, to attend, like, Nasrallah's funeral. Like, that dude is everywhere. Anytime there's, like, an event that is highly publicized, he will show up. So I definitely do think that he's kind of a grifter, but controversial take. I do kind of agree with you that, like, okay, the most harm that he's done is, like, okay, being a grifter. He hasn't actively signed legislation that has provided Israel with funding to buy weapons that end up killing Palestinians. So if that's the point you're making, I'm kind of there with you.
Thank you. That's really all I was trying to say, because I don't know if I would say I quote unquote fuck with Jackson Hinkle. I mean, my friends over at shit, I can't even think of the name now. This is bad. They mentioned from an outsider's perspective, you can get all frustrated with, I don't know, you can say whatever you want to say about Jackson, but it's just weird to put your energy towards that. Like, he has very little power.
Yeah.
He's just a guy. And from an outsider perspective, it's just kind of funny. Like, this like white guy from Los Angeles.
It is kind
and
of
he's
funny.
in front of like he's in front of the Houthis just like giving a speech. It's like a movie. It's like it's just funny.
I know. He's very much
And
like an opportunist, and like so in that sense. But like I get what you were saying in terms of like at least he's not doing any, he's not causing any actual like harm on the ground. You know what I mean? He's a douche. He's a grifter. He's trying to make money off of this. He's trying to take advantage of the situation. Who knows what he actually thinks or cares about like deep down? But just want to highlight a couple of messages that you got, Comrade. CH sends $2 and says, how to groom a badass mustache, Comrade Casey. And Half Tooth Replica also sends in $2 and says, love the mustache, Comrade. So any quick mustache tips that you can give us? How do you groom this bad boy?
mustache tips. I mean, first of all, you gotta have the genetics. And there's an issue with if you can grow a mustache, you're probably balding. So it's one of those give or takes, you know, you can't have one without the other.
I can sadly relate, I guess.
Yeah. But you know, I kind of just let it grow out, do its thing, trim it every once in a while. It's got a mind of its own. I try not to mess with it.
You kind of have like a Lebanese farmer mustache. They kind of extend and they twist the tips. So you kind of have that. Like I also genetics definitely. I have like 2 or 3 hairs that come out of like the same fucking like pore or whatever the fuck you want to call it, follicle. So
yeah,
it's pretty crazy. Another quick question. So you were just talking about AOC and Bernie and sort of like how they've become like fake progressives at this point. Like Bernie refuses to call what's happening in Palestine a genocide. AOC voting to send defensive money to Israel. So I guess we touched on that, and we don't really need to. Is there anything else you want to say about Bernie? Like I'm extremely disappointed. Like when Obama was running, I remember being excited and voted for Obama back in 2012. And then when Bernie came out in 2016, that like opened my eyes, and I was like, oh, holy fuck, what have I been doing this whole time? Socialism is the way. Bernie is the way. I still have like a Bernie Sanders sticker stuck on my like door here. I have like tons of Bernie shirts. Like Bernie really got me excited about U.S. politics again and gave me hope. And when he almost like got the nomination instead of Biden in 2020, like I was very fucking excited. And look, I still do think that he's a net positive. Like he is the only sort of mainstream the biggest mainstream politician calling to cut off weapons to Israel. He is, you know, like he is very much saying the right things, but he's not calling it a genocide. I don't think he should be thrown in the garbage because we still need his influence in trying to cut funding to Israel. But the fact that he's refusing to call it a genocide to me is just kind of nauseating. And it's like, bro, like, what are you doing? But I do think his actions, as pissed as I am and as disappointed as I am in Bernie, I still do think his actions are a net positive. I don't know how he voted for the defensive bills, defensive weapons to Israel. If he voted to send them money, then fuck him. Like, you know what I mean? Then
yeah. Bernie's a tricky one for me. I mean, the more I learn about his past and the things he stands for now, I kind of feel more like the whole Bernie socialism thing is kind of rooted in sort of a lie, not to burst anyone's bubble. But yeah, well, first of all, he is funded by a quote unquote progressive Zionist PAC.
Oh fuck.
I think it's called J Street or something.
Okay, I had no
idea. They basically do what AIPAC does, but in like a progressive manner, which is still, you know, funding imperialism. So it's really no different. It's just an optical difference.
Well, I mean, if Bernie's fucked and if AOC's compromised, and if you're saying that Zohran Mamdani is also compromised, and he was like the face, he's the future of the Democratic Party. And like right now, we got Pete Buttigieg.
I'll give him the chance.
We'll give him, like right now we have Pete Buttigieg doing like the podcast circuits and being like, should Palestine be a state? That's a complicated question. It's like, oh my, like, are they really gonna like fucking run this guy in 2028? So like, what do the Democrats, who do we look to? If it's not like, and it's sad that Zohran is the only answer, because like we need more than just one guy. Like, so like, I think the Democrats are genuinely fucked. And I'm becoming more and more convinced that like we can't change the party from the inside. We need a third party. Like this whole, we'll change it from the inside, join them, and then we'll slowly move them to the left. It's like you've been trying that for decades, and they're only moving more to the center. They're only moving closer to the right. So it's like clearly not working. So like Democrats should just be their own fucking party. Liberal Zionists, whatever the fuck they want to call themselves, like neoliberals. But it is not the left. It is not where I think the majority of like young Americans want to go.
I
Kind
mean,
of fucked.
at the end of the day, we look at China and we say, oh, it's a one-party state because it's governed by the Communist Party or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But America is a one-party state just as much as China is, because at the end of the day, the Democratic Party and the Republican Party, they're fighting for the same cause, and
Exactly.
they've found these two identities with different, propaganda pipelines, with different metrics that they're looking to heighten or whatever. And through this, they've been able to basically succeed in the same manner as each other on the one common goal of just complete and utter control of the entire global economy.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, at the end of the day, I don't think it's worth trying to fix. And that's where Bernie's he was an interesting character because he did run independent. And I think he's still technically an
Registered
independent
as an independent.
senator from Vermont, but he still is hand in hand with the Democratic Party, which is very frustrating. I think, yeah, maybe third party, or just people just need to start running independent. I feel like Zoran would have my full support if he ran independent. The only issue I really have with him is that he's in the Democratic Party. So if he goes against their platform, he's basically out of commission. Like, he doesn't really have autonomy.
He's probably gonna.
So
I fear that he's gonna do the AOC thing. Like, he's starting off on our side, doing and saying the right things, but then little by little, he's gonna get embraced by the Democratic sort of machine, and then bit by bit, he's gonna hang around with more consultants and more like whatever people that poison the minds of politicians. Like, at least Rashida Tlaib is still out there. Like, there's still a few people out there fighting, but like, yeah, other than that,
yeah, no, it really doesn't come down to character. It comes down to, do you have like sovereignty in the government as Zoran or whatever? And he just doesn't, because he's captured by the Democrats. So I don't know. It doesn't.
I completely agree with you that it's a false choice. Like, elections in America at this point are completely like it's an illusion. You know what I mean? You want to pick between these warhawks, the liberal warhawks who support gay people, or the warhawks who don't like gay people and are more open about it and hate immigrants. Like, that is essentially the conversation. It's boiled down to such like stupidity, to be honest with you. Quick, just random questions about like politics on the left, the commentary. Did you know anything about Lol Overruled? Were you like did you ever consume his? I saw him twice on Hassan's stream. That was it. You know, people were like, damn the left, and like, we need more male commentators on the left, and like all these white dudes. I was like, bro, I didn't even know this guy was like a thing. Do you know anything about this guy? Like, did you consume his content? Is it a loss?
No.
Did the leftist community just lose someone, or is it like, okay, whatever, we can move on from this dude?
I don't think he left an impact of any sort. Just kind of a, I don't know, sleazeball, seems.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I saw him. Though I think the one most prominent stream he was featured in is when Hassan went to the UCLA
Protests?
encampment.
Okay.
Yeah. And he was there for that. I mean, I don't really know.
Well, quick question on Mike from PA was recently friend of the show, also Mike from PA. Again, I had Korean barbecue with Mike from PA in Los Angeles. Mike, thank you for that lovely lunch.
Wow.
I expect Korean barbecue, Comrade Casey, when I'm in Minnesota. Okay, it is the minimum.
We'll see. I don't know if we have that.
You Americans, you guys love your Korean barbecue. You definitely have Korean barbecue. Google it. You're gonna find like 7 spots around you. You're gonna be surprised. So I ended up saying Judaism is like a demonic ethnicity. He meant to talk about Zionism. Look, I said what he said definitely sounds fucked up, and he should apologize for it. If you just take what he said on its own, it sounds very anti-Semitic. Like, you can't dance around it. But if you've consumed any of Mike's content from before or after, the dude is not in any way, shape, or form an anti-Semite. It's pretty easy to tell when someone is anti-Semitic. Okay, I've been around anti-Semites. You can sniff them out very quickly. As someone who spent a little bit of time with him and who has actually spoken with him, I can tell that it's just something stupid that he said. He kind of put his foot in his mouth. confuse two things when you're streaming for 7, 8 hours, however many hours you're streaming, when you're talking about these concepts, Zionism and Judaism, and conflating the two, especially when Israel is doing its best to conflate Zionism and Judaism. I don't blame someone for accidentally wanting to talk about Zionism, and maybe he said Judaism. Should he apologize for it? Of course. Should he block people that are calling him out? No, etc. But what do you think? I mean, as an outsider, I don't know if you've ever had any contact with Mike from PA, if you ever talked with him, but like, what do you think about that whole situation? Is Mike from PA like Lolo, or is Mike someone that we should hold on to? And actually, like, no one wants to like defend someone if they say something like racist or fucked up. But like, again, in his case, Mike has said and done so much good that it's very easy to kind of like snuff out like, okay, this was clearly a moment where he misspoke, at least in my opinion. But if anyone got offended by what he said, I'm not qualified, and who am I to tell you not to get offended, especially if you're Jewish and you're a fan of his content. But I definitely think that he's a person who deserves a second chance.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, what did he say? I think he said Jewish is a demonic religion or something.
Ethnicity, I think. He's it's a made-up ethnicity.
Okay.
So he was saying like how it's a made-up ethnicity and it's a demonic ethnicity. So he could have been saying that like Zionism is made up. Again, it sounds fucked up, and he definitely owes people an apology for saying it. But like, it's like, okay, is he an anti-Semite? Because that word has been thrown around right now so liberally, so easily. Apparently, I'm an anti-Semite. You're an anti-Semite. Everyone we talk to is an anti-Semite on the left, apparently now. If you don't agree with what Israel's doing, you are an anti-Semite, apparently. So that word is losing all meaning, kind of, in my opinion.
Yeah. I mean, if we're going off facts here, I'm not defending him. I mean, it seems like just a poor choice of words, and yeah, he meant to say Zionism or whatever.
Very poor choice of words.
But I mean, let's think to like early America. White was like British people, and then it became British people and
Italians and Irish.
Yeah. So then I guess, he's not wrong. I mean, Ashkenazi is the ethnicity. Jewish is the religion.
Yes.
So I sort of see where he's coming from. Look, and
I never thought of Judaism as an ethnicity. I always thought of it as a religion. Now, if there are some like genetic markers or something, I truly have no idea. To me, it's a religion. Just like Islam is a religion, Christianity is a religion. I never thought of it as, it's an ethnic group. Like Jews are an ethnic group. So I personally never thought of it that way, but if that's what it is, who am I to argue that?
Yeah. I mean, you have like Sephardic Jews and Ethiopian Jews, and there's Jewish people all over the country or all over the world.
So it's more of like a religion, I guess, right? So I mean, yeah.
I mean, I think they call it a ethno-religion, I think, because Ashkenazi Jews are, I guess, a dominant ethnicity within the religion, so it's like it's sort of similar. But yeah, I don't know. Mike, I haven't had any interactions with him besides like in his Twitch chat. I think he said I could come on the show sometime. Hasn't happened yet, so
all right.
We'll have to
maybe now's not the best time. No, I'm kidding. Mike from PA, we love you. He's a good dude, and I hope to have Mike on. Like I mentioned to you, we're doing a fundraiser sometime this month to try to help out families in Gaza. I want to try to get as many friends of the show on. We'd love to have you back on, Comrade Casey. That would be an honor. We got a question here from Tani, who says, fellow Minneapolis comrade here, Casey, do you have local recommendations for the best IRL initiatives / organizations to get involved in right now?
I mean, I've gotten to my most interactions with like DSA, PSL, what's the other one? FRSO. It's mostly just like showing up to protests and there goes the power.
We lost I still got you though. we lost the power. This happens all the time.
Okay. So personally, don't even get me started on the DSA. We all saw what some of those resolutions were.
Yeah, crazy.
Over the past couple days. So I would be a little hesitant to get involved with DSA. They're basically just a branch of the Democratic Party at this point. Personally, I would kind of just No, you can pick whichever one. PSL is kind of the most. Um, I don't know. They seem to not be as tied to the Democrats. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
um, not as much as DSA, I guess. Anti-war, general anti-imperialist organizations that are less involved with politics, because at the end of the day, it's so hard to. I mean, I don't think PSL has a single elected official. I might be wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I know DSA has some, like Minneapolis, for example. We have our entire city council, or a majority of our city council is DSA, but
Mm-hmm.
they're also they're DSA and their Democratic Party. Only
Okay.
one of them is only DSA. So I don't know. It kind of gets tricky with the parties and everything. But Anti-War Minnesota is the organization that I am most involved in.
Anti-war
Um,
Minnesota. Okay, that sounds pretty legit.
they do protests at like there's a what do they call it? It's the so there's like a state pension, and it's I don't even know how it works. They're like invested in different things, and a big chunk of the pension for Minnesotans is in Israel and Israeli companies.
Damn. Okay.
So we go to the board of investments meetings and stuff like that. They're definitely the most um, anti-imperialist organization I've found. A lot of the parties, like what I was saying earlier, it gets kind of tricky with, oh, I'm socialist, but I don't support China or something. It's
Mm-hmm.
kind of weird. So I would just stick to the strictly anti-war, anti-imperialist organizations like Anti-War Minnesota.
Okay. And also, I mean, I would recommend Tiny to follow Comrade Casey on Twitter because you're generally pretty open about sort of like things that you're reading. You started a book club, so you are building like sort of like a community over there. So if you do
Oh
want
yeah.
any more details on whatever he's involved in, I'm sure you can get some more insight
Hop in the NSR Discord.
through Twitter, NSR Discord as well. Fuck yeah. Send me the link later. I'll add it to the description of the video
All right, sweet.
for the Discord. I'm gonna end this call just real quick because we have 3 minutes left, and then I'm gonna start a brand new call because I don't have a Zoom Pro. So just give me a moment. Comment. I'm
All
gonna
right.
send you a brand new link in just 1 second. There you go. How do you guys like that? Okay, we don't have the budget to get Zoom Pro, but that's okay. Are they gonna make me wait to do another call? No. There we go. Boom. Started a new call. This is super fun. I saw some of your super chats. Far Twain and Nogzolotl. I'm gonna ask him. Don't you worry. Copy invite link. Let's send it to our boy. I'm having a lot of fun with this, guys. He's so fucking cool. Such a nice conversation. So super chill. I was so nervous of this. I was so nervous, but it's going well. He's such a chill guy. Hey, you guys are enjoying it. Nice. Awesome. There we go. We got him back. Boom. And we're back. That's how we do it on the Do Not Worry podcast, folks. We get power cuts. We get Zoom basic. That's how we do it. Comrade Casey, got a question for you from Far Twain. Question for Casey. How should we feel about the H3 crew at this point? Give them grace, or are they as bad as Ethan? Primarily asking about AB. We're going to get into H3 a little bit, but Far Twain got a little excited, so let's get into it. What do you think about the H3 crew? Should we give them some grace, or are they as bad as Ethan? Primarily asking about AB.
Okay. Well, to take it back to some of the early days of NSR, I made one video about Ethan before October 7.
Mm-hmm.
Or no, I made two videos, but my first video after October 7 was basically glazing the crew. I was
Okay.
like, Ethan's been doing all this bullshit, but at the end of the day, the crew is based. And I
Mm-hmm.
look back on that, and I think I was obviously more than incorrect, because I mean, it's honestly sad at this point. Like looking back, you were like, when are they gonna leave? When are they gonna leave? It's gonna
Mm-hmm.
happen. And like Sam and Ian, they left, and who else left?
Cam left as well.
Yeah, Cam. And it's hard to say. I think when Ian was leaving, he was like, "Oh, don't think this is because of any drama or anything. I'm just deciding to leave." I don't know if I really believe that. It probably had something to do with it. I mean, he slowly kind of got out of the picture, even
Ian,
while
yeah,
he was
he's
still
been like
working
stepping
there.
away for a while, but also
Yeah,
he had broken up with Sam. I don't want to get too parasocial, but like him and Sam broke up apparently, and people are saying that might be one reason that he wanted to like step away from the podcast or something. I'm not entirely sure
sure.
about all of that. It's private. I don't even want to talk about that.
Yeah, no, let's
I
stay
brought
out of
sorry
it.
for
But
bringing it up.
no, no, but you know, they're one thing. You know, Olivia's another thing. But the worst is definitely AB and Lena,
Yeah,
and in a different way, Dan. Dan's
yeah.
my least favorite. I almost hate Dan more than Ethan at this point because, you know, Ethan's obviously got some screws loose. I'm working
Hmm.
on a video right now connecting heavy Ozempic use to Zionist brain rot. It
Oh,
rots
that's
away
gonna be
your
awesome.
fat, so it probably rots away your brain too.
That's so
But
funny.
Dan, I mean, Dan was supposed to be the captain of the ship, you know,
Yeah.
not letting it sink, not letting anyone go overboard. But and don't even get me started about his background. I mean, he's talked about this on the show. He comes from a great line of Bolshevik um, Russians who worked hand in hand with Vladimir Lenin during the Russian Revolution in
Oh my
1917.
God.
I think his name is God, what is it? It's something Sverdlov.
Third love.
If you
Yeah.
just look it up, you'll see it. But
I always thought that was like a nickname for Twitter. I never knew that was his actual last
yeah,
name. Also, just as a quick follow up, so like you were an H3 fan, like myself, you're a Fallen fan. You used to consume H3
100%.
content. Like what's your relationship with the podcast before even criticizing Ethan? Like you used to consume H3, big fan. You knew all the lore, all that sort of thing.
For sure. Yeah, I mean, uh, the the worst was what was it? They basically that first episode where they talked about me for like 45 minutes, calling me an anti-Semite and looking through all my Reddit history. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, I think you can kind of tell from that. I was like a major fan. I had a clips channel. I had that parody love channel that everyone loves
Oh,
talking
that's
about
right.
on
That's right.
Twitter. I had a love clips channel on YouTube. I was just, you know, I'd gone through a breakup recently after that, so I was like fully invested. I'm
Mm-hmm.
making clips, I'm doing all this shit. But it slowly, once leftovers started, you kind of started, or at least I started to realize that Ethan wasn't as left as he like put out, like
Mm-hmm.
as he made it seem, because he would bring up stuff like China and
And
he had
capitalism
that.
and like yeah, he
Yeah,
would he would get
and
uncomfortable with with some concepts when he and Hassan would talk about them, and yeah, like he would pull a little bit back, like yo, like I'm a leftist, but like I'm not as far left as
right.
like you guys are when it comes to that.
Yeah. And they had Richard Wolff on to talk about Ukraine, and I was kind of surprised they did that. And I don't think Ethan just he doesn't even know what he's talking about, so he didn't really try to push back at all. He's just
Hmm.
not informed about really any of the context. But and then once October 7 happened, I was always like I'd been sort of based about Palestine, as they say. So when October 7 happened, I was like, okay, I mean, Ethan's an idiot. He
Yeah,
doesn't really know anything that he's talking about in terms of geopolitics. But you know, in a few days he'll figure it out. So that was unfortunate, but I mean, good riddance.
like that's what's crazy. Like I mean, the fact that you're such a big fan, like that just goes to show how like they refuse to listen. Like people like us, people that you made fucking clips. I started a whole podcast inspired by H3 here in Lebanon. Like we literally are we were probably in like the top 10 or top 5 percentile of like very dedicated, loving fans that love that community. And just I remember like leaving a few comments like, yo, why is Ethan making like Zionist talking points? And like the shit would get deleted like off of their Reddit and shit. I was like, there's no room for like conversation even. I'm not even like insulting these people. I'm like, hey, shouldn't Ethan rethink what he's saying? And like that was enough to get banned. And when I made a video talking about Ethan, I got all these like fallen fans that were like, hey, I got kicked off the subreddit for just asking questions. And it was
Yep.
just they weren't even letting people like communicate. And then now they're so happy to like label us as like these anti-Semitic pieces of shit. It's like, bro, we spent money supporting you guys. Like, did I all of a sudden decide to hate Jews and be like, hey, fuck H3, I'm an anti-Semite now? Like, bro, we've been supporting you for fucking years. Like, I have so much Teddy
Yeah.
Fresh in my closet right now, bro. So I always find that like if they wouldn't listen to like their most dedicated fans, like, and I don't like, they're stuck with like the worst audience now, essentially. Like all of their best, most dedicated fans, smartest fans, I would say, are gone, and now they just have fucking slop consumers. I just want to read a quick note from Noxolotl, who sent $5 saying, supposedly most Latinos have a small percentage of Ashkenazi or Sephardic because of early migration to Latam to escape the Spanish Inquisition, FYI. So thank you for that note, Noxolotl. But back to the crew and Far Twain's question. So do you extend at this point? Like, I agree with you. I do think enough time has passed. Those first few months, maybe the crew's sitting there like, hey, maybe Ethan and Eli are going to come around on this. Maybe they're going to say the right thing or do the right thing. At this point, Ethan and Eli have burnt bridges with like friends of the crews, with Frogan, with iDubbbz for like AB, with Adam McIntyre for Olivia. Like they've literally gone out and ruined those friendships. You now have, I think most young creators that are pro-Palestine want nothing to do with the H3 podcast. They don't want to, they never want to collaborate with that show. They're going to have a much harder time getting guests on that show. They're stuck with people like Willie Mack, Mutahar, Keemstar, like just the Nick the Oreo, just the shittiest people online. That's their new audience. And yeah, I think at this point the crew, like there was a clip from a member stream where they were talking about like Love Island, and Ethan made Olivia cry or whatever, talking about like sexual assault. It's like, I definitely felt bad for her because it's a fucked up situation to be in. But part of me is like, well, you chose to stay here. You chose to take the money to stay here. Like just yesterday, they're doing all. Ethan is sitting there like fucking denying the Nakba, and that's another thing. Like they're getting worse with their propaganda. You'd think
that was crazy.
You'd think they'd stop. He's out there doing like Nakba revisionism yesterday, literally. Like you know what started the Nakba? Like the Arabs were attacking. It's like, oh my god, bro. And AB just fucking sits there. So at this point, I would say the crew is complicit. The crew have made it clear. AB has even made it clear. He's like, what other job do you want me to get if I leave this job? So he's literally said he doesn't even think he can get another job. So like, hey, you did that to yourself, bro. I don't care for them anymore. I'm not going to extend any charity. Obviously, if someone is like crying on set and like because of sexual harassment, I'm going to feel bad for them. I'm going to feel bad for Olivia. Like, I'm a human being. I want the best for AB and Lena and all of those people. But like at this point, they're complicit. They're part of the team. They're helping Ethan do research. They sit there quietly as he spews propaganda. Zach is fully Zionist brained. Like he likes Noah Tishby, posts on Instagram. He thinks that the ICJ is like wrong for trying to go after Netanyahu. He's like completely gone. But okay, no, I feel you. We're gonna get. Let me see. We got another question from Love from Rochester, Minnesota. Mustafa Jav.
Hello
Thank
there.
you, Mustafa.
Welcome.
Okay, let's jump to Ethan. I was gonna ask about leftist commentary, but like before we jump officially back into H3, what do you think about the lack of minorities and leftist commentary on YouTube and on Twitch? Sean the Black made a very interesting point when he was saying like everyone is looking for the Joe Rogan of the left to try to reach white men. How do we reach white men? Did we have that? Technically, I'm Arab, so I'm part of the solution, I guess, right? I'm not a white man. I may sound like a white man, but I'm not. I'm Arab, folks, so I'm part of the solution. You're welcome, everyone. But do we need more people like me, Comrade Casey, to fix the problem that you white men have caused?
I mean, you know, we need a face for everyone. And I think, I mean, you hold an important role as someone in the heart of imperialist exploit in, you know, the 21st century. And, you know, the more perspectives, the merrier. I mean, it's what our role really is we're propagandists. And people see that as a negative term, but I mean, Hassan, he describes himself as a propagandist. You're really just using these tools and using your methods to get your audience to, you know, be able to hear the truth and believe in the truth.
True.
And with that, I mean, I talked about this earlier. The Democratic Party and the Republican Party are very good, you know, owned by the ruling class. They're very good at the propaganda. And we need to be countering that propaganda with as much, you know, as much different focal points as possible for, you know, different groups. You speak to people, you speak to people that share your background, or I guess, I don't know, your personal history, I guess. Yeah, your perspective. And there's more trust there, I guess. And Yeah, at the end of the day, it's good propaganda to be able to reach as many people as possible.
Oh, I agree. And by the way, I don't even consider myself like a leftist commentator. Our show, like the show started as an H3 type show where we reacted to like cringy Lebanese TikTokers and stuff. But when the war started, when the genocide started in Gaza, I was like, I can't fucking sit here and talk about fucking TikTok while this is happening just a few kilometers away. So we kept talking about it. And like what happens in Lebanon, because we go through a lot of shit like explosions or bombs or like some kind of an attack or something. And then I kind of judge the public perception of it on like my Instagram stories. Like how quickly are people going to move on from this tragedy that happened and start posting food pictures again and like going out to clubs. So when I noticed that attention was waning and people started just talking about their lives again, I was like, I got to keep talking about this, because if we don't, and I don't see how a normal person can see what's happening in Gaza and be like, I don't want to talk about this. I don't want to make content about it. Like I don't want to raise awareness about what's happening. And then the war like came here, it came to Lebanon. So I was like, okay, now I have to keep talking about it, because I'm not going to fucking talk about dumbass videos and react to videos while Israel is literally bombing my people. So I accidentally fell into this whole thing. You know what I mean? And I just felt like it was important to share my perspective, especially when seeing channels like H3 with millions of subscribers sharing one side of a story. I was like, okay, I actually live here. My voice needs to be out there. And now, having done that for a few months, now I feel this sense of responsibility. I'm not a political commentator. I'm not qualified to be a political commentator, but whatever I can do to lend my voice to the conversation, in however way, if it can help, you know, I definitely want to try to do that, because a lot of people need that stuff.
Well, if you need a American correspondent, I'm happy to call in if you got any questions when it comes to American politics.
Fuck yeah, dude. Oh my God, are you kidding me? We'd love
or
to have
any
you.
global
You're already
politics.
you're part of the family already, Comrade Casey. So speaking of Ethan Klein, so you are the man that caused Ethan Klein's clown works as well, his crash out. And we talked about you watching H3, so you being a fan. What do you think? Do you still think, I mean, when I first started covering H3, I was like, okay, you know what? He's spreading dangerous propaganda. We need to counter this. Do you still think at this point, a year and a half into his propaganda, do you still think Ethan is a threat, or at this point has he revealed himself to just be kind of like a clown and on this one man like war versus Hassan? And should we stop taking him seriously? Because I'll be honest with you, at this point, like it's getting harder for me to watch like Ethan Klein as a Zionist videos, because I'm like, we have covered these points to death for the past like year and a half. It's like, what else is there to say? Do you think he's still kind of a danger, or that's it? He's kind of doing his own thing and we can just like point and laugh at this point?
Yeah, I mean, honestly think he hasn't really been a danger since like 2024 maybe. Like when he was still, I mean, he still gets, 500,000 views, but I don't really know if he's reaching any new audiences.
No.
I don't know if he's really pushing the boundaries on mainstream narratives. I don't know. I think people kind of just think he's an idiot, but I think it's still the main place where he really comes into play is the propaganda that I was talking about. Propaganda is it's much more effective when you bounce it off of, pop culture figures, get people to click your video. That one guy that I forget his name, that British guy.
The British guy. Oh,
no, that's like a British guy who makes like some Ethan videos. I forget his name.
Chris Kunzler?
Yeah. He kind of does this where
friend of the show. We love Chris.
Yeah, he'll make a video like about Ethan or whatever. And Noah Samson does this too. It's like titled Ethan Klein yada yada. And the entire video is just going over Israel's crimes. Yeah. You're just getting people to click on these things by using Ethan's
as an entry point. Those drama lovers, slop tube fans who will not click on a video unless Ethan Klein's name is on there. Yeah, no, I feel you.
Yeah, he's universally understood at this point to be like an idiot. So it's kind of just like, oh yeah, I'm gonna click on that. Why not?
Hey, I'm doing that today. He's on this thumbnail. I want to talk about him and Anna Kasparian later. You know what I mean? Yep. So
my next video is about him. So I'm still using his name.
Thank you, Ethan Klein. Are you following up a little bit on the Anna Kasparian versus Ethan Klein? situation, what's happening there. What's funny to me is that he's calling Anna Kasparian a token Armenian, essentially being like, you're just sitting there to excuse Cenk for the Armenian genocide. I'm like, he's literally saying that in front of AB. I'm like, you have AB and Lena sitting right across from you. You're two token Arabs who are sitting there to basically like justify what Israelis are doing, and you're calling Anna Kasparian a token. By the way, we're not here to defend Anna. What are your thoughts on TYT in general? Because everyone knows they've had a crash out of their own for the past like few months. It's not like TYT is like high on anyone's like list of esteemed characters right now. They've fallen out of favor with the left. So for him and Anna to be going after each other, it's like you're both having crash outs of your own right now. So
yeah, I was never a TYT watcher. The most I know about it is that like my dad was a fan way back in the day. I mean, it is interesting. Like, what's his name? Theo Von, for example, just to make this point. He's said a lot of dumb shit. I think he became famous by like writing an article standing against interracial marriage or something. So like,
oh damn, really?
He has like this weird, he's an interesting character, but you can take these grains of truth, as I like to say, from everyone's rhetoric. And people still have respect for Theo Von because of he's very staunchly anti-Israel. And I don't think it's coming from an anti-Semitic standpoint. He sees the destruction, and he sees the evils of Zionism. And you know, when it comes down to the Anna Kasparian, Ethan Klein debate, it's not about like picking a personality to side with. It's about the greater idea. And Anna seems to be very vocal about her anti-Zionist stance, and I agree with that. And I think any noise, any voice standing against that has a place. I mean, she has said a lot of things I disagree with, and I think aren't very worth talking about, and they're just kind of a waste of time. But when it comes down to the meat of the argument, I encourage her to, you know, debate Ethan Klein or however this is going to end.
So she's had some terrible takes lately about like trans people in sports. She's had terrible takes about like a gang of I can't remember, like a Latino gang somewhere. Like her and Cenk have been going on this like centrist sort of like grift. They're trying to reach out to more Republicans and stuff, and they've been paying the price for it publicly. But I still think, like you said, she's extremely based on Palestine. Anytime she talks about Palestine, anytime she shows up on Piers Morgan, she's really passionate. She really knows her stuff. So I think she's a great commentator on the story. But I also think, like, I mean, Ethan has basically willed this drama into existence. He's been sitting on his couch for the past 3 weeks, making Instagram stories about her, trying to bait her to respond to him. And now she finally took the bait. That's essentially what he does. Like, I don't think she would even care about him in that situation. And the fact that he's bringing up the TYT thing, like, why do you work for a company that's called TYT? And the Young Turks are the people that perpetrated the genocide against Armenians in the past. It's like, bro, it's 2025. Everyone, like, people have talked about why the network is called TYT. Like, that was a controversy like maybe 10 to 15 years ago. At this point, like, who cares really?
Yeah.
And, like, I will agree with Ethan. Like, it's a questionable name for I'm Assyrian. I'm half Assyrian. So technically the Young Turks also like genocided like 200 to 300,000 Assyrians back then. I used to watch TYT. I mean, I'm older than you. You're in your 20s. I'm 34, so I'm significantly older than you are. So I used to kind of watch TYT, like when Bernie was running, like a couple of elections ago. I was kind of into TYT, but like I've kind of lost. I kind of stopped watching.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Anna versus Ethan situation is funny, but it's literally just manufactured drama. He's literally been on his phone for 2 weeks trying to bait her into responding. Now she has, so he spent like 40 minutes yesterday talking about it because their podcast is dying, and the only way he can keep it relevant is by baiting someone into drama. And that's what he does. He just talks shit about people on Instagram stories, hopes for someone to respond. Someone responds, boom, they're on the thumbnail of his next episode. This person called me out. I need to respond. And that's how they keep the show alive at this point. You know what I mean? The lawsuits, to me, the lawsuits are way more, at this point, destructive than his Israel propaganda. The Israel propaganda, no one buys it unless you're a fucking idiot or a moron. I think he's really being harmful in like setting these dangerous precedents of like just suing anyone who says something you don't like about you on YouTube, essentially, and silencing people. And if, God forbid, he ends up winning any of these lawsuits, he's going to be he's really setting some dangerous precedents that are going to ruin content creation, YouTube and commentary and free speech. Like he used to be a free speech warrior and a fair use warrior, and now he's
Yeah,
completely gone
that's
the
how he gained
opposite
notoriety.
direction.
Yeah.
One
And
second,
just
I'm
to
gonna.
take it back to Anna Kasparian for a sec.
Yes.
Um, the yeah, she said a lot of dumb shit, and that's why I wouldn't like blanket. It's important to take what you can from these voices. And to use an example, Norman Finkelstein, who like everyone loves
Hmm.
in the pro-Palestine left, but he has said some questionable things about, or his takes on gender and trans issues and these things like that. But is he making his platform on that, or is this just something someone asked an old guy and he
Hmm.
gave his honest opinion? And that doesn't change what he says about Palestine. So I don't think we should be like the whole Anna Ethan thing. Um, yes, she's a valid voice in the anti-Zionist space at the very least.
And to go back on the dangerous stuff, like Ethan platformed Ahmed Fouad Al Khatib on his podcast at least once, maybe twice, and that guy like talked openly about how the Palestinian reporter Anas Al Sharif was like a danger and was like part of Hamas, and he just got murdered 2 days ago. Him
Yeah,
alongside 5 other journalists, Al Jazeera journalists. So
yeah,
I will take that back. There is actually some real present danger of Ethan platforming someone like Ahmed Fouad Al Khatib, giving that man a louder voice, a bigger megaphone to speak through.
yep,
It's not that Israel was waiting on his article or on his tweet to murder these journalists, but his tweet and the fact that he's a Palestinian saying that, look, some of these journalists are possibly Hamas operatives, is kind of giving Israel the whatever reasoning, whatever excuse they need to bomb people. And then people can go back and point to his tweet or his article like, look, this Palestinian man is even saying that some journalists are a problem and they should be taken care of. So I would like to correct myself on that point.
yeah. I agree with you there.
Anything else you want to talk about, like the H3 podcast? I'm going to react to some his segment once we're done with this call. I'm going to react to
Yeah.
his segment yesterday, talking about Anna, talking about the Nakba and all that sort of thing. Is there any parting message that you want to send to Ethan, the H3 subreddit, which loves watching these videos and like clipping them and stuff? Anything you want to let them know?
I mean, I'll say this to the crew first and foremost. I think you've dug yourself into a deep hole, but you know, if you want to come back, I think people will have open arms. You'll just have to,
Mm-hmm.
prove yourself a little bit, but it's not a lost cause. You can leave now. Um, it's gonna
We'll
be all
forgive
right.
you.
But what I'll say to Ethan is debate me, man. I've been reaching out to you. I've been trying to get you to debate me. All of a sudden, you talked about me 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 times on your show. You name dropped me. And then this one day hit where you just stopped talking about me, stop mentioning my name. I think you're afraid of me, Ethan. So let's debate. Let's work out our differences.
You heard it here first. I mean, you heard it on Twitter and before, but you've heard him vocalize it with his voice, folks. Ethan Klein, Comrade Casey wants to debate you. Comrade Casey is coming for you. Don't be a coward. Accept. I think it would be a very productive conversation. There you go. Look, he's giving you the eyes. Don't fuck with him, Ethan. Ethan Klein, take the man. Take the man's challenge. Accept it. Comrade, I want to take your opinion. I'm about to let you go. Just a couple more questions, and then
All
I'm
right.
gonna hit you with some Patreon members questions. But first, what should Americans do? What's the best thing you think Americans can do to help Gaza right now, other than like raising money, protesting? What do you think? And
Um,
it's not even on you. I know your government is funding this, but like it's a lot. The Arab nations have abandoned Palestine. Like it's not just on you, but like as an American, as someone who's concerned, who's sitting there, what can you do to help and try to feel better about the situation?
well, back in the 70s, China was going through some rough patches, and they unfortunately went through this cultural revolution where they did some pretty violent things to some questionable folk, and it went a little bit too far. That's what they call ultra leftism or something in the Marxist space. But we can do a similar thing in America, and I think calling out calling out your Zionist politicians, your local politicians, whether it be your city council members, your mayors, your governors, your representatives in Congress. Um, we need to be really pushing a message that Zionism isn't going to be allowed. And with the whole going back to the whole DSA vote, I mean, 40% of Democratic Socialists for America voted against a bill that would officially state that DSA is anti-Zionist. So we have a very
Oh.
clear Zionist problem in America that even goes down to these quote unquote socialist spaces
Mm-hmm.
where people can call themselves a socialist. I mean, Tim Walz, when my governor here in Minnesota, when he was appointed vice president to Kamala's campaign, people were touting him as this socialist, and he did some good reform here and there with free lunches and stuff like that.
Hassan really liked him. Like Hassan was pushing, like
Yeah,
was super happy that he was chosen too.
yeah. But at the end of the day, he's a Zionist,
Mm-hmm.
and we need to be calling that out, whether or not you agree with any of his other um, reforms. At the end of the day, he is a tool for the American empire, specifically in Israel. And we just really need to be putting pressure, more pressure on these quote unquote like our side politicians who
Mm-hmm.
really they're not on your side. It's an entire sham. They're working for the empire, and it's just another propaganda wing. So yeah, even these progressive, quote unquote progressive politicians, you still need to be be brutal
Yeah.
in a legal manner
They really have to
against
earn
their Zionists.
they really have to earn like your votes. They really have to earn votes, and you have to put their feet to the fire. And yeah, like this vote blue, no matter who, they can't assume that they're gonna get your vote. So
Mhm.
unless they're very clear on their stance on Zionism and like Israel, I think it's okay to withhold your vote, because I think there's this misconception, and Ethan Klein keeps saying it, like, look, if only you had voted for Kamala, look what would have happened. And Kamala, it's like, bro, the genocide happened under Kamala and Joe Biden. Like nothing would have fucking changed, materially on the ground.
Yep.
So it's okay to punish them by not voting for them. Now, sometimes the Democrats don't learn their lesson. They've lost a few elections because people didn't vote for them, and they learn all of the wrong lessons, and they run the same candidate again. Like they've just lost. They're probably they want to run Pete Buttigieg in 2028. They don't learn the right lessons. But I think it is important to withhold your vote, really make them earn that fucking vote. And if they're not going to say the right things, then fuck them, let them lose. But when they do lose, then the Republicans take over, and then like it has all these negative effects. But like it's
Yep. And
I,
encourage if people are running that or they're a public figure, encourage them to run independent because
yeah,
you're not a sovereign citizen if you're running under the Democratic or the Republican Party.
that makes sense. Uh, any reading recommendation? Okay, we have 10 minutes left. I'm gonna try to get this done
Mhm.
quickly. Hope you're still good on time.
Yeah.
Any reading
Reading
recommendations if anyone
recommendation.
wants to learn about communism? I know you shared a list, I think, on Twitter, and you started a book club, the North Star Radio book club. Any quick
Yeah.
reading recommendations you'd like to throw people? A good way to get started if you want to learn the basics of communism?
Here's some things not to start with. People always talk about Capital by Marx. That should be one of the last things you read after reading maybe 20 other books. I
Okay.
mean, first and foremost, it's more of a simple read. I mean, a lot of literature from even 100 years ago is kind of hard to follow, especially in like the philosophy space. But one
Mm-hmm.
of the easiest ones to sort of understand what is happening in the 21st century when it comes to imperialism is Imperialism by
Mm-hmm.
Lenin. Imperialism, the highest stage of capitalism.
Okay.
I would read that. I would, I guess you could read the Communist Manifesto. It kind of gives a vague understanding of stuff, but it's not that important.
Mm-hmm.
I would read, Stalin gets a bad rap, but he's the one that synthesized Marxism, Leninism. I mean, it's named after Marx and Lenin, but he
Mm-hmm.
came up with that idea using, um, the economic uh, the economic theory from Marx and the political and sort of war theory of Lenin. So I would read. what's it called? It's called Dialectical and Historical Materialism by Stalin. Um, what else? I mean,
That's a
that's
pretty
about
good
it.
start right there.
Yeah, it's a
That
decent
seems like a pretty.
start. It's
Looking at the
something here or
collection
there.
over there.
Yeah, start with
What?
that.
Okay, awesome. Thank you for the record. I definitely want to learn a little bit more, to be honest about it. To be honest with you, so I will follow your recommendations. I think you shared a photo once or a list of books, and I screenshotted that. If I'm not
Sweet.
mistaken. You want to stream? You want to get into streaming? Any updates on that? Did you choose between YouTube, Twitch streaming? Are you going to stream on both? Any premiere date that you have in mind? When should we look forward to North Star Radio's first live stream?
I'm kind of treating this as I don't do much live, so this will be my jumping off point maybe. I
Well,
was
you're
thinking
great.
like,
You're doing very
yeah,
well. So,
I mean, during the election, I was trying to really tap into that election hype and the breaking news cycle, and I was making like a lot of videos like right after Trump got shot and shit
mhm.
like that. But it doesn't really work for the North Star Radio idea for the brand. I'm not good at quick, like I like to do deeper analysis and
Mhm.
commentary. So I think my streaming will definitely be more um devoted to breaking news and things like that. I'll only stream on YouTube if there's
Okay,
really
sweet.
something big just took place. And I think on Twitch, maybe I don't know. This is embarrassing, but I do play a little Fortnite, hop on
Hey,
Twitch.
yo,
It's a
I'm
good
playing,
time.
dude. I started a whole gaming channel, so like I don't play Fortnite, but like as you saw, I'm getting very serious about American Truck Simulator. So maybe maybe we could drive some trucks together in Minnesota or something. Like, is there a
I'm
multiplayer
down.
mode? You know what I mean? Fleet mode where we have a drive a fleet of trucks. You know what I mean? I would be totally down. So
Yeah,
Twitch, that
the
makes sense.
freedom,
Twitch for
whatever.
video games. Twitch is more lenient on a lot of like copyright stuff. Like if you want to watch Jubilee videos, you got to do that on Twitch because YouTube will take
Really?
that shit down right away.
It's good to know.
Unfortunately. But okay, so we're gonna look forward to some North Star Radio streaming on YouTube very soon. That's fucking awesome. You mentioned what upcoming videos can we look forward to on your channel?
Let's see. I'm working on one. Let's see. It's titled Ethan Klein, uh,
Hell yeah.
Ozempic and its ties to Zionist brain rot.
That's gonna be so fucking funny.
Um,
He's gonna call that like so offensive. Like I can't believe they're vilifying Ozempic, and how
it's a
can he
little
do that?
ableist, I'll be honest,
That's
but
gonna
it's
be
for a
funny.
good cause.
Yeah, that's super funny.
I
No,
want to
that's
talk about Ibrahim Traore in Burkina Faso. He's starting a united. His whole idea is a United States of Africa, which is what got Gaddafi killed by Obama and Hillary Clinton way back in the day. So I want to make a video about that. Also, just want to make another broader Ethan Klein video about why he was never on the left and he just sort of
cosplayed.
thought he was, I guess. Um, I do kind of want to make another Jubilee video.
Oh,
Um,
sweet. I think you should, as long as you're editing, as long as they're edited, yeah, you have no problem.
I
Just live
think,
streaming that is just like they're
yeah,
not cool with that.
I think they have more ties to the quote unquote American deep state than they want to let on. People say, oh, they're doing a lot of bad things, and I've made videos about that in the past, but I feel like it's almost gotten to the point where there's something fishy going on. Like, who's funding Jubilee? They seem to have a lot of money, and I just want to dive into that.
Yo, that's super interesting. Okay, so awesome. And that's good content for us to react to on the channel. So I thank you on that aspect as well.
Amazing.
Let me just take a second to get some questions that some members sent and YouTube members really quickly. Let me just move that over here. Okay, so let me cut back to you. We have a few minutes left. We might need to do one more call. Let's see if we can knock these out. We have 4 minutes.
All right.
Razva Porky6294 asks, what is your favorite hummus?
My favorite hummus? Oh, I don't know. Homemade hummus.
Homemade there.
Some lemon. There you
Ooh,
go.
lemon and garlic. That's the perfect answer. Artful Decadence asks, I'm not sure if he's already elaborated on this on his channel, but I'd be interested to know what radicalized him. So what radicalized you, essentially? I think you talked about that
Learning
earlier a little bit.
about North Korea, learning about basically learning all the lies I was taught growing up about the quote unquote global South. Um, it's just all made up. And the more you learn, the more angry you get.
No name, no name. Not a serious question, but also semi-serious. Pineapple on pizza? Yes or no?
Well, I used to work at Papa John's Pizza, and let me tell
Oh,
you, sticking your hand in that pineapple bucket, it's really cold. So just for the sake of the employees, I would say no.
oh my God, dude, that's like we just got some Comrade Casey lore. Wait a second, did you just you just stuck your hands in the pineapples, no gloves, no nothing?
They don't use gloves.
Oh my God. I mean, I guess that's fine, right? Pizza, as long as the hands are clean,
It
I think
goes in
that's
the
fine.
oven. I mean, I washed my hands,
Okay,
but I will
okay,
say it's one of the best jobs I've ever had.
okay,
Shout out
sweet.
Papa.
Shout out Papa. Um, uh, so Razva Porky has multiple questions for you. What's your opinion on the man or bear and Gen Z stare debates?
The man or bear?
I think
What's
I'm
that?
too old to even understand this question.
Yeah, I don't know. What was the second thing?
Gen Z stare debates. What's your opinion on Gen Z stare debates?
Stare debates. I'm at a loss for that. I think I'm 24. I'm not in the Gen Z meta really.
Yeah, I have no idea what these questions are. Another question. Say, Razva Porky, did your livelihood get tarnished by Ethan doxing you?
I mean, people found my personal Facebook page, which was unfortunate. You know, my whole family's on there. So
Damn.
I got a little worried. I changed my last name. So if you ever think you know my last name, you don't. It's not my real one. So I mean, no. It's net positive for my career.
Any plans to visit Lebanon or any other Arab country? And do you like falafel?
I love falafel. I I've I've been very interested in coming to Lebanon. I have a buddy of mine out in Beirut, Najib. I don't know if you know the guy, probably not. But
I know a lot of Najibs. I don't know if I know you're a
okay.
Najib, but maybe. Fuck yeah,
Well,
dude. If you come, goes without saying, you're gonna come here to like on the show. You'll come chill with us on set. We'll hang out. We'll show you around. So if you ever
that'll be
do,
great.
friend of the show, friend of Lebanon, Comrade Casey, you're more than welcome.
Great. Yeah, I would love to go to Lebanon. I'd love to go to Iran is like Tehran's architecture I've always been obsessed with. They have some amazing like contemporary wooden architecture. I've
Mm-hmm.
always loved that. Um yeah, maybe I'll team up with Timothy Chalamet sometime in the future.
Hell
Head on
yeah.
over to Yemen.
We got less than a minute. I'm gonna end this call. Send you one more link just to
All right.
close it out with respect. I'll be right back.
Sounds good.
Sorry, folks. We got to do this. That's how it goes here. I just want one more minute with him, but I don't want to rush him. I have to start my next meeting in 9 minutes? Okay, let me ask him to send me a link. Okay, what do you guys think about that? Fuck. Now he has to send me a link. That's how it goes here, folks. Let me go back to the live chat real quick as we wait for Comrade Casey to send us the final link. He's gonna do it, folks. He's sending us a link. You want to be a guest on the Do Not Worry podcast? We're gonna have to ask you to send us links. How fucking great is Comrade Casey? This has been such a nice conversation. I was so nervous getting into this. I'll be honest with you guys. I was super nervous. Nude messaged me telling me to let him talk. Did I speak too much over him? Oh, we got a link, folks. We got a link. Open Zoom. Boom. There we go. Absolutely. I feel so unprofessional. Oh, I don't think I can hear you.
Oh, you can't?
There we go. I can hear you now. Can you hear me?
Okay. Yep.
Okay, awesome. I just wanted to close out with the questions. You got one more question. So if you come to Lebanon, we'd love to have you here. Ahla sahla. Please come visit us anytime. It's relatively safe now, but who knows? But I mean, definitely, we'd love to have you. I've invited everyone, all friends of the show. You, Chris Kunzler, come on over. We'll have a good time. We'll get Matt Lieb here as well.
I'd love to.
Razva Porky has one more question for you. You used to watch H3 a lot. Who are you watching now to kind of fill that H3 sized hole? What content have you been consuming? Any new creators that you want to tell the audience about?
You know, disagreements aside with Hassan, I still watch him here and there. Um, let's see. I don't know. It's sort of it's one of those things where you put it on. H3 was like you put it on. Oh, I'm gonna wait for 3:30, put on the show, and just fuck off and do whatever I want to do. I don't know. It's kind of a niche that I haven't found a place for. I guess, being a Midwest boy up here in Minnesota, shout out the North Star flag right behind me.
Hell yeah.
Um, my favorite podcast that I've been listening to a lot now is the Bellied Up podcast. That's a great one. They just take callers. It's just, just something to put on. Um, but yeah, that's about it. I'm not like I don't have some sort of religious ties to any creators at this point. I think I'm past that personally.
Same. I've kind of learned my lesson, but also I wanted to thank you for like being such a active member of like our community, and we love seeing you in the live chat anytime you pop up. So I really just wanted to say thank you for like everything, for being so supportive, for being, again, the best thing to come out of this whole Ethan Klein thing was getting to meet awesome creators like you, building this community of like
Absolutely.
alternative people like you, people like Chris Kunzler, Uninformed Leftist, Sean the Black, the Arabs. I've been so happy to get to meet all you guys. Mike from PA talked to you guys. So I think that's the like. Also, Ethan has helped both our channels a lot. You just crossed 70,000 subs. That's fucking awesome. I'm so happy for you. He's helped us a lot. I was at 10,000 subs just a few months ago. Now we're at 30K, and I'm doing this full time. So really, just thank you so much for being part of the channel, for being a member, for always being there in the live chat. Our audience always loves it when you pop up. We got a few VIPs. You, Ethan's Basement, obviously Haley D, some random people that have become VIPs, but like you and Ethan's Basement, anytime you guys would pop up in the live chat, I'm like, oh, these guys are fucking watching. That's crazy. Also, like Mike Figueredo from the Humanist Report has been here and has watched a few times. I'm like, I've been watching these people for so many years. Kyle Kalinske has reacted to one of our clips. Hassan has watched your videos many a time. But like, just the fact that like we're this random little podcast from Lebanon. So thank you so much for being there for us, for being so generous with your time and like and your support and everything. We really do appreciate it so much. I would love to have you on. Hopefully the scheduling can work out for the fundraiser, but I would love to have you on for another quick chat for that.
Yeah, I look forward to that.
Thank you so much for coming on and spending like over an hour with us. This was a great conversation. I really had a lot of fun. Really excited to see you streaming. You're great. You're a great voice. You're a great sort of ally to have, and we need voices like yours more than ever, Comrade Casey. So thank you so much. We very much look forward to seeing you streaming. I very much look forward to your next videos. The audience loves you, sir. Have a great day. You're gonna have to end this call because you started this call.
Oh yeah, I do. All right, well, I just want to say,
leave.
appreciate you having me on.
It's our pleasure, man.
And Ethan Klein, debate me.